you all in today's academic counseling class on 14th November 2022 at sharp 3 p.m. Shortly, our more learners will join. The counseling class I will take on human resource management, the performance and compensation management, and employer-employee relations. First of all, I want from your side what we discussed in our earlier lecture, academic counseling class. I hope all of you are understand, and if you have any query, you are requested to ask. First, I will give you opportunity to ask if you have any query, any doubt. Yeah, you must ask. Okay, no issue.
Sapan sir,
Yes, ma'am.
we
Yes, ma'am.
welcome you at this platform. And Sapan sir, actually, I would like to add one more thing. Uh, for few minutes, you may discuss about assignment also,
No issue, no issue. I will discuss. I will discuss.
assignment of your course.
Yeah, ma'am. Definitely, ma'am. It's
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
not, ma'am.
After your lecture, you may discuss about the assignment.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Dear learners, today, as per the direction received from our respected ARD madam of the IGNOU Renal Center, Lucknow, we will discuss about assignment. I hope all of you are start writing, and many of you completed your assignment also of the human resource management. How many learners completed their assignment? Anyone in this academic counseling class? Anyone? Okay, Manvi Trivedi. Yeah, learner. You completed your assignment?
Yes, sir, I submitted it.
Great. So I request you if you share some questions, then we will discuss in this academic counseling class. If you will share the question paper,
Sir, I don't have it on screen right now. I'm using it from my phone. I'm in office.
no issue, no issue. If any learner you have the question paper of the assignment, you can share. If any query, because the important is if you have any query, any doubt, I will guide you. That's why respected ARD ma'am instructed us to take care of the assignment, because all of you many time ask the various questions. If no, no issue. And if any question you must ask me, you have my number, my WhatsApp number. I'm in your WhatsApp group. No issue. But today we are going to start the one topic of the human resource management, because human resource management is a very important subject in the management. All the management started if you are successfully doing the effective and excellent human resource management. If you are doing the excellent human resource management, it means you are ready to manage everything perfectly. Finance management, operational management, marketing management, all management done by the human resource. So human resource management is essential of the all management. Uh, Dear learners, today we'll discuss on training and development. I am going to share some content with you. Training and development, the learning outcome, what is the difference between the training and development, inputs in training and development, purposes of the training and development, process of training, training methods, and summary. First of all, we must know the training play the very important role in any organization. If training is related to the human being, that will increase the performance of the human being they are involved in our organization. If we are giving the training to the technical person, that will improve their skill and the performance level of our employees in that specific areas. We can say almost every organization required well-trained and experienced employee to perform the activities in order to accomplish the organizational goals. Really, it is very fact when we um, when we taken the um, we appear in the front of the any interviewers for a job for any work, they ask, is you trained for the specific task, uh, how much experience? The two words are very very common. One is the training, second is the experience. Both are essential, because when you are trained, you will perform your task very effectively and in the right manner. And when you are experienced, it means you are trained and you take up the several type of the um, work in your whole career. Dear learner, if I will ask to you, uh, is as my learner in this virtual classroom, did you got any time any training? क्या किसी लर्नर ने कभी कोई ट्रेनिंग प्राप्त की है?
No, sir.
Okay, okay. No issue, learner. Soon you all get the good training, because in your career, lot of time your employer send you for a training. Training, suppose if you are working in the corporate sector, suppose if you are the finance, you are in a finance department, then many time some short term or long term training conducted by the organization, how you will prepare the various accounting document in your organization. Many time marketing people's training conducted by the organization for increase their skills in the marketing activity, etc. A specific domain, there's a specific training set. Imply to perform the activities in order to accomplish the organizational goal. It is very important. We all need to accomplish the organizational goal, because if we are unable to achieve our goal, it means we are incompetent, and incompetent pupils are not demanded in the corporate sector. So, dear student, it is very important. We know very well. Training and development means the imparting to implies a specific improve present or potential imply performance by increasing an implies ability to perform through learning, usually by transforming the implies attitude or increasing his or her skill and knowledge. The need of the training and development is determined by the implied performance deficiency computed as follow. There is the one, I love using my this cursor. The training and development need equal to standard performance minus actual performance. The gap fulfilled by the training. uh, Standard, what is the standard performance, what is expected by the other your employer, um, in mass pupil, what is the expected, and exactly what you are performing. The difference it's fulfilled by the training. Many times one question arises, what is the distinction between the training and development? Training is referred to as teaching a specific skill. Training means the more and more theoretical aspect. Training is referred to as a teaching specific skills and behavior, usually reserved for people in order to bring up the performing level in specific skills, almost always behavioral, as distinct from conceptual or intellectual. Yes, in the training, lot of the experts come from their field and they share various theories, fact, means brainstorming sessions are going on. Later on, they discuss the various practical aspect also. Development in contrast is thought to be more general than training and more oriented in individuals' need, in additional organizations' need, and most often aimed at management people. Yes, because when you are training the pupil, it means you are ready to develop the pupil. If you are not giving the training to your employees, your subordinates, or the different stakeholders, then you are not ready to develop. You will take the example when the government of India or the state government uh, start various innovative concept in India. You will take the example when the GST roll out in the across the country. Then a lot of the training sessions are conducted by the government of India, the taxation department um, sensitization, for especially for spreading the awareness how exactly how GST is going to work in coming days. Now maximum the maximum business pupils are familiar with the GST. This is the output of the training. When we talk about the training inputs in training and development, this is the very important, my dear learners. Being a Indira Gandhi Open University, you must understand very well, because all of you are pursuing your MBA and all of you are coming corporate citizen of the country. Inputs to training and development. First, the skill, education, development, ethics, at, attitudinal changes, and problem solving. Training and development, when we um, just provide the training to someone, we must take care of this aspect. Suppose is we are going to improve the skill of the pupil. If yes, then our training is moving in the right direction. Education is also the important. How we are going to educate our pupil. Education. Education is the fundamental for any work. Suppose today all of you are getting the education of what? Education of the management. Why you are getting the education of the management? And because in future you use the education of the management studies in your career development. Many of you become the good finance manager. Many of you become the good human resource manager. Many have become good information technology manager. It means we can say you will apply this knowledge. Suppose when my learner become the good, got the post manager HR. Manager HR. I ask to you, being a manager HR, what you will do? Who will tell me? मैं आपसे प्रश्न पूछता हूँ, आपको एक अपॉइंटमेंट जो है प्रबंधक ह्यूमन रिसोर्स के रूप में मिलता है, ऑफर आपको एक कंपनी देती है, तो आपके कुछ सामान्य कार्य क्या होंगे? कौन बताएगा? कोई नहीं? लर्नर्स, हेलो?
Sir, in terms of employment, in terms of,
हाँ, प्लीज.
sir, I want to ask you a question. Ki in terms of employment or in terms of other things?
No, in terms of the employment, suppose you appointed as a manager HR in X and Y firm. How you, what is a job expectation from your post to the employer? Suppose I am owner, I am entrepreneur, I hire you as a HR manager. What are the various expectations from you in my organization?
Sir, I should have skills according to that which I can offer to the organization.
Okay.
As an HR, sir, I would first see that the person has requisite skills. कि उतनी skills हैं जिस skills में हमें requirement है या उस type की skills है.
Okay. Okay. Good. Learners, whenever any person asks to you being a manager, what you will perform, always you remember there is some specific task of the management. There are some functions of the management. All of you know very well. What are the various functions? Who will tell me the 5 functions of the management? Anyone can tell me the 5 functions of the management?
Sir, planning, organizing, coordinating, staffing, and controlling.
Really? Thank you. Thank you. Being
Yes,
a
sir.
HR manager, or any time when management word come, manager come, general manager word come, you always remember manager perform only the functions of the management, and that are the functions: the planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. Okay, suppose if you are become the good if you got the position for the HR manager, you perform all the work that is related to HR planning, HR organizing, HR staffing, and directing and controlling that related to the human resource management. A training and development program must contain inputs that enable the participants to acquire skills, learn concept, and get a vision to look into the future. Additionally, there is a need to impart ethical orientation, emphasis on the attitudinal changes, and stress upon the decision-making and problem-solving abilities. Suppose when you are conducting the training sessions, you always remember you must develop these traits in your employee or a person to whom you are giving the training. What are the various traits? Like skill development, you must improve the education what currently you have and what you are increasing, and the development, develop the various various aspect of his career development, and ethics, systematic work, and all the important important things you must try to uh, try to develop in your employee. And attitudinal changes means how perception, how you are seeing the things, what is your attitude. It is very important. Attitudinal changes, and the problem solving, decision making is also the very important skill. Because if you are the good decision maker, um, if you are good decision maker, you um, you will go very fast in your career if you are a good decision maker. But if you are not prompt in decision making, it means you are not good. Next is detail skill. The training imparts the skill to implies that they need to operate machines and use other equipment with least damage and wastage basic skill. This is very important. Uh, Least damage and wastage. Dear learner, you tell me what do you mean by the least damage and wastage? Least damage and wastage. Please, anyone? Least damage and wastage से आप क्या समझते हैं? What do you mean by least damage and wastage? आप बताएंगे? Anyone? कि जो least damage and wastage हम बार बार इसको यूज कर रहे हैं, एग्जैक्टली है क्या? हाँ, लीस्ट डैमेज एंड वेस्टेज से जो मीनिंग है डियर लर्नर्स, का मतलब यह होता है, इम्पोर्टेंट जो आपका मेन ये है कि जैसे मान लीजिए कि आप किसी स्पेसिफिक जो है वेस्टेज है और उसके अलावा कोई आपका डैमेज है, मतलब कि जब आप स्किल्ड होते हैं तो फिर आप किसी भी चीज को कम से कम जो है डैमेज करते हैं और कम वेस्टेज उसमें होता है। ये इम्पोर्टेंट है। विदाउट बेसिक स्किल्स द ऑपरेटर्स विल नॉट बी एबल टू फंक्शन। So then the workers also need more skills. Motor skills involve the performance of the specific physical activities and involve the learning in the response to external and internal stimuli. In addition to basic and motor skills, implies at the supervisory and the executive level need interpersonal skill to understand themselves and other better and act accordingly. Education. The aim of the education to impart the theoretical concept and develop a sense of reasoning and judgment. All of you are getting education. This is the main aim. Impart the theoretical concept and develop the sense of reasoning and judgment. Development is less skill oriented but emphasizes on knowledge about the business environment, management principles and the techniques. Human relations, specific industry analysis are useful for the better management of a company. This is the development. Ethics, a training and the development must also contain an element of the ethical orientation. There is no debate about the fact that ethics are largely ignored in the businesses. Yes, when we are giving the training to our employees, we always remember ethics must be in that training module. Ethics, what is the good way to perform any task, how the things is closely related with your society, and what is the impact of our good work, what is the impact on society if you are not doing the right job. Suppose if you are in the dairy business and you are not producing the quality milk for the society, it means you are playing with the health of the human being. So ethical aspect must become in the training. And attitudinal changes. The attitudes are the feeling and beliefs of the individuals toward others. Literature provides the evidence that attitudes influence the motivation, satisfaction, and job commitment. There are the positive attitudes and the negative attitudes. Negative attitudes need to be changed in the positive attitudes. Changing negative attitudes is difficult because implies refusal to change. Nevertheless, the attitude must be changed to changes enhance the commitment of the implies into the organization and motivate them for the better performance. How is our attitude? And attitude must be changed through the uh, training modules. If I will ask to you, what do you mean by um, what do you mean by positive and negative attitude? What you will reply, please? अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं कि आप पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव एटीट्यूड से आप क्या समझते हैं, तो आप क्या बताएंगे? बताइए. If I will ask to you, what do you mean by positive and negative attitude? Any learner? Learners, please participate in discussion. Please. It is very important. Please. आप बताइए.
सर एक बार रिपीट
सर,
करिए क्या पूछा है.
लर्नर्स, मैंने आपसे एक प्रश्न पूछा है कि सपोज जो पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव जो दो प्रकार के एटीट्यूड हैं, इसको आप क्या कोई एग्जांपल देकर उसको बताएंगे?
sir, over the period of time, people develop certain thinking and feeling towards certain situations. तो उससे उनका एटीट्यूड डेवलप होता है और फिर उस एटीट्यूड को दो पार्ट्स में हम डिवाइड कर सकते हैं, या तो वो पॉजिटिवली डेवलप हो जाता है या नेगेटिवली डेवलप होता है, या सिचुएशनल में भी आदमी चेंज कर लेता है, या तो पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड शो करता है या नेगेटिव एटीट्यूड शो करता है. So when we look at the good aspect and good positive energy, good energy of certain things, या फिर हम उसके प्रोज को ज़्यादा देखते हैं तो हमें एक पॉजिटिव आउटलुक मिलता है, और अगर हम किसी चीज़ के कॉन्स को या नेगेटिव चीज़ों को या उसके बैड ट्रेड्स को ज़्यादा देखते हैं तो हमें एक नेगेटिव एटीट्यूड जनरेट होता है और फिर वो हमारी आदत बन जाती है.
Really, I appreciate to my learner for a reply in such a excellent way, because I always share this statement when I ask some aspect in your academic counseling classes. You must reply many time. All of you are correct, and sometime little bit correct. But when you share, it means your confidence level, what exactly you are thinking on the particular uh, topic or particular subject. This is the important. Very rightly, one learner stated uh, what how is our thinking pattern on particular things. That is the very important, and this influence our success. Suppose if many time you got the lot of the work in your office, being a negative attitude pupil, you say no, yeah, no need to work here. No, I will um, search for the job in other organization. No, this is the negative. You say yes, if there is the more and more work, it means uh, great opportunity to explore uh, my caliber, learn the new and tough things that will work in my coming near future. You can think like this. If today is hard time, then definitely in near future things will go in the easy manner. Decision making and problem solving skill. Students, decision making and problem solving skill is also the very important in the human. Suppose if you are the prompt decision maker, it means you are the successful people. And if you are taking the decision in very delay manner, very delay, you will take a lot of time in taking the decision. It means you are not ready to immediately start the work. And if you are not ready to immediately start the work, it means you are ready to fail. So it is very important when you are developing the training models, decision making, problem solving skill must be developed. These are the various skills that we need to develop in the training modules. Na? Skill, education, development, ethics, attitudinal changes, decision making, and the problem solving. Problem solving is also how we are going to solve any problems that we are facing. It is also important. Always you don't put the problem in front of your boss or your manager. You must come with the problem as well as the various suggestions, and the appropriate suggestions will opt for as a problem solving technique. The purpose of the training and development, if we will discuss why the training and development is very essential in current days. जो ट्रेनिंग एंड डेवलपमेंट है ये क्यों बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है. Any organization that gives the more and more emphasis on the training and development, that organization come under the good organization. It means the training and development play the very important role. The following are the major objectives of the training and development as follows. Number one, to train the employees in the company culture pattern. मतलब कि ट्रेनिंग के द्वारा हम अपने एम्प्लॉय को ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के कल्चर पैटर्न, जो संस्कृति है, जो वर्क करने की एक अपने पैटर्न है, उससे हम एम्प्लॉय को जो है फेमिलियर करते हैं. टू गेट द फेमिलियर with our organization, we develop the training program. And this training program increase quantity and quality of output involving improvement in work methods. Okay, increase quantity and quality of output involving improvement in work method. Yes. Lot of other work methods for performing any specific job. All of you know very well. A lot of the work methods for performing the any specific job. But being a employee, being a good performer, being a excellent performer, when you perform that specific job in best method, that increase the quality of the product and increase the quantity of the product. Okay, this possible through and through only the training techniques or good training methods. To prepare the employee for higher position in the organization. Learner, the training is also the very important because this prepare the employee for the higher position in the organization. Higher position in the organization means, suppose today you join as a junior executive in your organization. Definitely you will expect in the next year become the executive, and next year you want to become the assistant manager, and year your expectation will increase, and one day you want to become the general manager of the organization. So when the training, you get the good training, automatically the quality and the quantity of the product will increase, and overall the capacity will increase, and you get promotion in your organization. First, to improve the quality and quantity of the product. And second, for get the promotion. Dear learners, uh, when we talk, uh, the third point that is also the very important, that is to teach the bright but uncontrollable employee in the determination of his goal. Yes, this is also very important, to teach the bright but uncontrollable employee in the determination of his goal. Yes. Many times, lot of the uncontrollable imply in your organization. So, how they are useful in achieving our goal, then this is the very important. We train them. To train the employee toward better job, adjustment, and high moral. Yes. Better job, adjustment, and the high moral, the training play the important role. You will take the example of the Indian Army. Indian Army's people, they are very high moral. Why? Because they get the A grade training, excellent training in their career. To bring down the supervision, wastage, and accidents. To bring down, yes, the supervision, wastage, accidents. When less training, more supervision required, more wastage occurred in the organization. Lot of the accidents take place. But when your employees are the more trained, then automatically less supervision, less wastage, and less accident will reported to the organization. To bring down the supervision, wastage, and accidents, and next the development of the work habits and methods of work contribute toward a reduction in the accident rate, less supervision, and low wastage of the material. Yes. So we can say the purpose of the training and development in the current scenario, especially in the LPG era, liberalization, privatization, and globalization age, very, very important. So every organization must set up the training and development cell and time to time assess the need and requirement of the training and start the training sessions. The training session must go in the whole year, not casually in the month of only you conducted 1-2 days. No, training is also the very essential requirement that must go throughout the year. How many learners are agree with my this statement? The training go throughout the year. How many learners are agree from my this statement? Okay, I hope all of you are writing in chat, but I am unable to see because currently I am seeing the content. I assume all of you are saying yes. Good. Now we will discuss the process of the training. The training programs need to be drafted carefully. Yes. Usually in the organization of the training programs, the following steps are the necessary. First is the identifying the training needs. Learner, this is the very important. Without identifying the training needs, you can't develop the good training module. A training program should be established to assist in the solution of the specific operational programs and improve the performance of the training. Identification of the training needs must contain three types of the analysis. One is the organizational, second is the operational, and third is the man analysis. When we are in the process of the development of the training modules, when we are in the process of development of the training modules, we must assess or analyze these three: organizational analysis, operational analysis, and man analysis. Organizational analysis means what are the need, want, and requirements of our organization. Is human resource are working accordingly? If yes, then okay. If not, we need to train them. Second, the operational analysis. Operational analysis involves the detail how the things will go on, operational point of view. Accordingly, if the things are okay, then no need to training. But if not okay, we need to start the training. On man analysis, man analysis focuses on the individual implies his abilities, skill, and the inputs job performance require or growth of the individual and development in term of the career plan. Suppose you are going to develop the training module in your organization, because all of you are the student of the human resource management. According to me, all of you are the HR managers. You are general manager HR for me in this academic counseling class. Suppose if you are the GM HR and you are going to start the training module, before starting the training module, you must analyze organizational analysis. Organizational analysis identifies the training needs of an organization, involving an analysis of the organizational structure, objectives of the organization, amount of the available human resources, and the future plans. What is the objective of the organization? And analysis of the organizational structure. You will do this organizational analysis and understanding of its culture and in a depth analysis would facilitate in the understanding of deficiencies to be rectified. In training, we try to rectify the deficiencies. Operational analysis. Operational analysis involves a detailed examination of a job. It's implement various operations and the conditions under the performance. This analysis focuses on the task itself rather than on the individual and the training required to perform it. Analysis of the operational and its various components will indicate the skills and the training needed to perform at the job at the required standard. Yes. What is the job specifications? What is the job SOP, standard of operating system, SOP, for performing any specific task? Is accordingly our human being are ready? If ready, then okay. But always you remember, if everything is good, it means not you can't you don't think no training model required. Training and development always required for any organization for any time. You must remember this statement. Training and training and development module required every time. Learners, when we talk about the man analysis, man analysis focuses on the individual's implies his ability, skill, and the inputs job performance requires or growth of the individual and the development in terms of career planning. The man analysis identifies the individual man implies training needs. Identifying training needs involves the 5 tasks, list of the duties and responsibility. Man analysis, individual, they are performing the job. We must analyze list of the duties and the responsibilities or task of the job under the consideration, using the job description as a guide, list of the standard of the work performance on the job, compare actual performance against the standards, and determine the part of the job bring down and the performance of the employee, and determine what kind of the training is needed to overcome the specific difficulty or difficulties. These are the 5 important aspects we must identify. First, key स्पेसिफिक जो एम्प्लॉय है उसकी ड्यूटीज और रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज क्या है, उसके कर्तव्य, उसके दायित्व क्या है, उसको पूरा नोट डाउन करना। एंड जॉब अंडर कंसिडरेशन यूजिंग द जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन एज ए गाइड। जो जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन है उसको गाइड के रूप में देखते हुए उसको पूरा डिटेल लिखना कि स्पेसिफिक पर्सन जिस पोजीशन पे है उसका जॉब रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी और टास्क क्या है। सेकेंड, लिस्ट द स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ द वर्क परफॉर्मेंस ऑन द जॉब। List the standard of work performance on the job. Okay, find out कि what he is performing, what standard किस level का है. If the standard is poor, we need to give the training. Compare the actual performance against the standard. Yes, what is the actual, what is the standard? When we compare the both performance level, will come with some shortage or the gap. That gap must be fulfilled by the training. Determine parts of the job bring down the performance of the employee. Determine what kind of the training is needed to overcome the specific difficulty or the difficulties. Yes, it is very important. Suppose when you are performing your job, what type of the challenges you are facing. Getting ready for the job, this is also very important. Having identified the needs for the training, the next step is to decide who is to be trained, the newcomers or the existing employees, the supervisory staff, some of all of them selected from different departments. Preparation of a learner, this is also the very important. The next step required that the learner remain prepared for learning. This step involves this putting the learner at ease so that he did not feel nervous because of fact that he on a new job. Okay, this is also the very important. These are the various steps. We are process. We are studying the process of the training. Uh, to preparation of the learner, the person who is going to take the training from your organization. You don't show you are foolish. No, 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 no. This is not way. The next step, putting the learner to ease. You provide the very comfortable zone to your learner. Learner means a person who is getting the training in your organization. State the importance and the ingredients of the job and its relationship to workflow. Explain the learner reasons why he is being taught. उसको बताना. Create interest and encourage the questions to find out what the learner already knows about his job or other job. Explain the why of the whole job and relate it to some job and worker already known. These are the very important point when you are preparing the learner. Place the learner as close to his normal working position as possible, and familiarize him with the equipment, materials, tools, and the trade items. These are the how you are going to prepare the learner. This is the very, very essential preparation of the learner. Presentation of operation and knowledge. This is also very important. The trainer demonstrate, illustrate, and question in order to practice the knowledge gained in the different operations. The learner is apprised of the sequence of the entire job and the necessity of each step and its performance structure. Instructions should be given clearly, completely, and very patiently. There should be an emphasis on the key points, explaining one point at the time. For the purpose, the trainer should make use of audio visual aids, and the trainee is asked to repeat the uh, repeat the uh, performance of the operation and knowledge. The trainer demonstrates and questions in order to practice the knowledge gained in the different operations. The learner is appraised of the sequence of the entire job and the necessity of each step in its performance. Instructions should be given clearly, completely, and patiently, and performance tryout. Under this step, the trainees is required to go through the job several times slowly, explaining him each step. Mistakes are rectified, and if necessarily some complicated steps are done for trainees the first time. The trainees is asked to do the job in gradual manner, making up skill and speed. Performance tryout, follow up and evaluation of the program is very important. The evaluation is undertaken with a view of testing the effectiveness of training efforts. The step can be accomplished by the putting a trainee on his own, checking frequency to be sure that the trainee has followed instructions and tapering off extra supervision and close follow-up until he is qualified to work with the normal supervision. Please mute. Next, please mute. Please. Hello, dear learner, please mute. Training methods, techniques. I think my one learner in office and by default his mic is unmuted. Yeah, no issue. Now I ask to you if you have any query, you must ask. No issue. Manvi Trivedi, please. You must ask. If you have any query, you must ask.
So
Yeah,
I
please.
was thinking about that point, which you said that the training should be long in course. But sir, if I can give you my example,
I'm not saying. Please. First you, please.
I'm working with Ministry of Textiles under Ustad project. So
Okay.
the project is upgrading the skills and development in traditional arts and crafts for development,
Okay.
in which we provide training to the artisans, generally who are registered with Development Commission of Handicrafts. So we provide them training under this, but we provided them for 15 days, and then after like 6 months, we'll provide them again for 15 days. So the training period is just for 15 days, which has many drawbacks in their own accordingly. But then I do not understand, sir, if it is a format to give training for a very long period of time, why do government give them training just for 15 days and then make such a huge gap in between?
Thank you so much for sharing your question, dear learner. Here I will reply this question like this, because they are working in very specific project, and only for 15 days training module is developed for them according to their needs and requirement. This is the enough time, because how much time they take to learn the skill, that is effective for their further development. If ministry find out, no, this is the okay, this is enough, then no issue. I am saying that throughout the year the training programs go on. Means today this specific class is doing training, next the specific other specific class is doing training. Means research, training and development is the continuous process of the organization. According to the need and requirement of the specific target group, the various expert of the human resource management, they develop the training module. Okay,
So
this is
thank you.
no subject of the debate. If the
No, sir,
ministry
because
approved, no, if the ministry approved, if their experts are saying the okay, then no issue.
yes, sir, but I particularly felt that it is one of the drawbacks of the program as well. But I am not able
Definitely,
to.
definitely. Suppose many times the less our training programs are not very much fruitful because the fundamentals they are unable to understand, and very short time training programs are not going to fulfill the objective of the organization. Many times this found only the a lot of the formalities and they join and get the certificate. That certificate says I got the 15-day training, but not the very much fruitful.
And sir, I face problem when you talk about private sector training and all those training, because I have not got those experience, so I face a bit of problem to understand what do you mean by
Your information, learner, as on date, lot of the good private sectors are giving the very excellent training to their employees. They are investing the very huge money on their employees because the employee is the great capital for them. Employee the great capital for them. So they are not saving the money. They are not saving the money. They always in the position to invest in good way currently. Okay.
so thank you. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
always welcome, always welcome. Next, I really I appreciate my learners. Always you ask the question whenever counselor complete his session, because when you ask the question it means you given the attention during the academic counseling class. This is the very good practice. You don't hesitate. Is I'm asking the good question, I'm asking the wrong question? No, question is never wrong. That if you ask the right question, the counselor will explain more. If you are already know, counselor will again explore more. Through this other learner will also got the answers.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, we haven't got the routine for the first semester. So when will it be held? Because it has been mailed that the exams are going to be start from 2nd December.
my dear learners, I request you, please you refer uh, www.ignu.ac.in for all these routine. Everything will be available there. On official website of the IGNO, lot of the information updated on daily basis. You must keep in your routine habit to see the IGNO official website. Official website.
Okay, sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. Really, I am so happy all of you attended this online academic counseling class. And in future, again, my academic counseling class will schedule. I will take, and really, this will give you the new dimensions of study. And regular study is only one mantra of the success in the your life. I am here. I am also completed my MBA from Indira Gandhi National Open University in 2010. After that, I qualified UGC NET, PhD in the management. So your MBA is so much powerful and very reputed in industry. Thank you so much. I hope our next academic counselors are here and he will take your next class. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, you may start the class.
Okay, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. Okay, so today we will discuss strategic management block third block we are going to discuss. We have already discussed this block one. In lecture one, we have discussed block one. In lecture two, we discussed block two, some part of block one, and then we discussed block two. And now we will discuss next block three in third lecture. Okay. So these three units are there, which are to be discussed. First is business level strategy. Unit second is competitive strategy, and then corporate level strategy. So starting from unit 7 of block 3, business level strategy. We have also covered a portion of this business level strategy in unit 2, but in this block, in this unit, we'll discuss it in detail. So, business level strategies are a set of certain moves and actions which are taken with the aim to provide value to customers, thereby developing a competitive advantage. This we have discussed in last unit, and I have taken the same thing from last unit itself. Now, business level strategies usually occur in the organizations having multiple businesses where each business is considered to be a strategic business unit. The same thing. Therefore, these strategic strategies are the actions specifically selected for each SBU. Right now, the first part of this unit 7, and it says it is the definition of business level strategy. It says an integrated and coordinated set of commitments and actions of firm uses to gain a competitive advantage by exploiting core competencies in a specific product market. See, when a business tries to get competitive advantage, and as it is clearly mentioned here, by exploiting core competencies, because various organizations have different capabilities. So whatever capability organization is having, if you exploit or make best use of those capabilities, and all these capabilities, all these efforts are put in an integrated and coordinated form, then can say that it is business level strategy. Next, the purpose of business level strategy. Business level strategies are intended to create difference between the firm's position relative to those of its rivals. Means the purpose of business level strategy is to make our organization different from the rivals, from the competitors. So the intention is to create difference between the firm's position relative to those of its rival, means to make ourselves better in comparison to the customers, to the competitors. Sorry. To position itself, the firm must decide whether it intends to perform activities differently or perform different activities as compared to its rival. Means if there are number of activities which are limited or standard, so if you are going to perform all those activities differently, or you are going to select some different activities as compared to the rivals. So there could be either of this or both of this. And the purpose of business level strategy is to position itself. The firm must decide whether it is intends to perform different activities, perform activities differently, or perform some different activities in comparison to the competitors. Now, next, before moving further, there are two basic concepts. Business level strategies can be discussed by two basic concepts. First is competitive scope, and then second one is competitive advantage. First, we'll discuss these two words, and then we'll move further. And then the purpose of discussing these two terms will be clear in third or fourth slide. So first, we'll discuss this competitive scope, and then we'll discuss this competitive advantage. Right. Uh, okay. So, competitive advantage means any process, any method, any differentiation which gives you better edge, which gives a company better edge in comparison to the competitors, known as competitive advantage. The types of competitive advantage could be achieving lower overall cost than rivals. If there are two products in the same industry, in the same market, and if company A is offering competitive price cost to the in comparison to the other firm, then obviously it will be a competitive advantage for the firm one. Second, performing activities differently, reducing process cost. If you are performing activities differently, means if activities are same, but if you are performing them differently, then it will reduce the process cost or will give you a better advantage in terms of cost. Possessing the capabilities to differentiate the firm's product or service, and command a premium price. So performing different or more highly valued activities, or those activities which can add more values can be performed to get a competitive advantage. Next, second term is competitive scope. So competitive scope can be studied in two ways. First is broad scope and second is narrow scope. The broad scope, the firm competes in many customer segments in a specific market, in a specific location. Uh, and narrow scope, the firm select a segment or group of segments in the industries and tailors its strategy to serving them at the exclusion of the others. So if a firm competes in many customer segments, if there are number of customer segments, then it is a broad competitive scope. But if firm selects a specific segment and make things according to it and say deal with it with a specific segment, then it is a narrow competitive scope. Now we discussed all these two points because we have to discuss this type of business level strategies. So there are three types of business level strategies: cost leadership, differentiation, and focus strategy. Now, focus strategy is divided further into two parts. Cost leadership is one, differentiation is two. So you can say it is say uh, 3A, and you can say it as 3B, or maybe 3 or 4. So these are business level strategies. On one axis, if there is competitive scope, and on the other axis, there is competitive advantage. Now we'll discuss all these things one by one. So first one is cost leadership strategy. As it is clear by its name that the business, the main strategy of business is cost leadership, an integrated set of actions taken to produce goods or services with features that are acceptable to customers at the lowest cost relative to that of competitors with features that are acceptable to the consumers. So cost leadership strategy is an integrated set of action to produce goods or services with competitive cost, basically, so that relatively standardized products can be manufactured, features acceptable to many customers, and lowest competitive price. The one thing which we have to say remember here, which we have to pay attention, that if we want to take cost leadership, if we are planning to take cost leadership strategy, then it doesn't mean that we have to say reduce the quality of product or services or anything in which we are dealing. So we have to maintain the standards as well, and then we have to master ourselves in the cost leadership. According to Porter, following are the prerequisites of cost leadership: aggressive construction of efficient scale facilities, means the scale of production; vigorous pursuit of cost reduction from experience; tight cost and overhead control, it means indirect control, the control of indirect expenses; avoidance of marginal customer accounts; and cost minimization. Okay, now second strategy is the differentiation strategy. An integrated set of actions taken to produce goods or services at an acceptable cost that customers perceive as being different in ways that are important to them. So, integrated set of actions taken to produce goods or services at an acceptable cost that customers perceive as being different in ways that are important to them. So the cost must be acceptable, and customers must have the perception that the product or services are different and they are important to them. It could be differentiation can be done by say making some changes in product, some addition, some innovation can be done. But it is also true that you can't say that every time your differentiation strategy will work, because sometimes differentiation strategies don't work because customers don't accept the changes, they don't accept the innovation, they don't feel comfortable to be fit in the changes. So this we'll discuss later. So focus is on non-standardized products, the products which are not needed to make uh, as per the standards. This is the only place where we can make some changes. Appropriate when customers value differentiated features more than they value low cost. So it is different differentiation strategy obviously will be accepted only to the customers, only by the customers who are willing to appreciate the differentiated features rather than the cost. Next is value creating activities and differentiation. So these are some activities which will create say, differentiation. Higher developed MIS, management information system, emphasis on quality, workers compensation for creativity or productivity, use of subjective performance measure, basic research capability, technology means obviously better technology, high quality raw material, delivery of products, high quality replacement parts, superior handling of incoming raw material, attractive products, rapid response to customer specifications, order processing procedures, customer credit if better available to the customers, and personal relationship. So could be, so we can select any one or two or all of them, or more than two or number of activities, so that we can create differentiation in our product or services. Now, next topic, differentiation can be classified into two basic types: tangible differentiation and intangible differentiation. You all must be knowing that tangible is something which can be seen, felt, and which have a physical existence. For example, design, packaging, style, or quality can be seen, feel, and have physical existence. And intangible differentiation, which usually doesn't have uh, a physical existence but have substantial impact. For example, image of the company or product or services, or brand or company reputation or customer preferences. So all these things, we can see all these things are very important, but they do not have the physical existence of uh, the differentiating attributes. For example, image is just a nominal name, brand is just a name. You can't say have it, you can't, it doesn't have any physical existence. So there could be two types of differentiation strategies: one tangible and second intangible strategies. These are visible and these are not visible, but they have substantial impact on the firm or product or sale, or basically competitive advantage. They help in taking competitive advantage. Now next, just right. Okay, next is advantages and disadvantages of differentiation. So advantages are quite simple: premium price for an organization, increase in number of units sold. If if there is differentiation, then obviously there will be chances that your sales will be increased. Increase in brand loyalty by the customers, sustaining competitive advantage. So these are some advantages of differentiation. Now let's discuss disadvantages of differentiation. So first, it is not necessary. These disadvantages are very interesting in differentiation, because one can ask might question that how differentiation could create some disadvantages for the firm. So these are disadvantages which can be created by the differentiation strategy. So it is not necessary that every time the organization goes for differentiation strategy, it is successful. It is not always happening that you are creating a difference and you get success. Uniqueness of the product not valued by buyers. Sometimes it has been seen that if a product is unique and it is not similar to the other products or services in the same market, in the same segment, then there are chances that customers won't like it much. Excess amount of differentiation might create problem to the customers, because customers will not be ready to digest, to accept the huge or excess amount of differentiation, because we all have inertia, and we usually don't want to shift from our specific position. So whatever we are liking, we always try to like the same thing only. If there is huge amount or excess amount of differentiation, then there are chances that product will not be accepted by the customers. Loss due to differentiation. So the company or a business can actually face monetary losses due to the differentiation. Next, third strategy is focus strategy. An integrated set of actions taken to produce goods or service that serve the need of particular competitive segment, particular buyer group, youth or senior citizen. We can focus on that. Different segment of a product line, professional craftsmen versus do-it-yourselfers. Different geographical markets, you can focus different geographical market as well, east coast versus west coast, etc. So there could be any strategy suitable for the respective product or service. Types of focus strategy. A focused cost leadership is one. Focused differentiation strategy is two. So as we have already discussed in previous slides, that focus can be either on either of the strategies, either on cost leadership strategy or differentiation strategy. To implement a focus strategy, firms must able to complete various primary and support activities in the competitive superior manner in order to develop and sustain a competitive advantage and learn above average returns. So in focus strategy, the various primary and support activities, I think you must be knowing primary and support activities, but if you don't know, we can discuss these activities here. Just a minute, let me open a blank page and then we'll discuss there. Just a minute. Right. So this diagram is also known as fishbone model, given by Michael Porter for primary and secondary activities, and we call it fishbone model because it does look like skeleton of a fish. So let me draw it. It is the model which says there are two types of activities. One, primary activities, and they are inbound logistics. Second is operations. Then comes here outbound logistics. The next is marketing and sales. And last, rev services. Right. So these are primary activities, and this is also known as, say, value chain analysis. Value chain analysis or model given by Michael Porter. So these are primary activities, and some secondary activities are there. These are firm infrastructure is first. Firm infrastructure. Then second is human resource management. Next is technology development. And the last one is procurement. Here we get margin value. So, so these are various primary and support activities in comparatively superior manner in order to develop and sustain a competitive advantage and earn above average return by increasing marginal returns. Right. Next topic is integrated cost leadership or differentiation strategy. A firm that successfully uses an integrated cost leadership or differentiation strategy should be in a better position to adapt quickly environmental changes. This is very obvious. Learn new skills and technology more quickly and effectively leverage its core competencies while competing against its rival. So, integrated cost leadership or differentiating strategy, the firm successfully uses an integrated cost leadership differentiation should be in better position to adapt any or all of these. Now, next thing, the next word here is core competencies. The core competencies of any business are the resources or capabilities that comprise a strategic advantage of a business. So there could be any type of core competency for the business, but the some basic core competencies could be, say, business skill one, business skills could be one type of core competency, or maybe say interpersonal skills, interpersonal skills, or maybe technological and system. If you have some differentiating or competent technology, if you are using, so these could be some basic some core competencies of any business. Right. Now, next topic is competitive strategy. Any organization in any type of industry has a competitive strategy. Every organization, whatever the nature and type of organization will be, that organization must be having its own competitive strategy in that specific industry. This is the basic value of any organization. This may be explicit or implicit in nature. So, if it is explicit, then it is developed through a planning process taking into account the external environment. And if it is implicit, then it is developed through the activities of different functional units. Competitive strategy could be explicit or implicit, right? Explicit is something which is clear or which is easy to understand, which is visible, and implicit, which is implied, or if there is no ambiguity, it is explicit. And implicit, it is about perceive, how you perceive things. So, developing a competitive strategy is technically developing a formula for success. It should answer the following questions. What are the goal or ends of the organization? Means what are the objectives of organizations, and what are the policy or means methods to achieve these goals? So, Michael Porter gave a Wheel of Competitive Strategy in 2008, and this is the Wheel of Strategy taken from IGNOU Study Material itself. It says uh, target market, focus on target market, or pay attention to target market one, marketing, sales, logistics, manufacturing, workforce, material procurement, research and development, finance and control, or product range. So these could be various organizations' competitive strategies, and developing these competitive strategy could help in deciding the goal and means or methods to achieve. Now, next is framework for competitors analysis. There are four components which need to be covered in a competitor analysis. They are future goals and assumptions, current strategy and capabilities. Future goals and uh, current strategy, assumptions, and capabilities. Framework for competitor analysis, we have to analyze our competitors, that what are the future goals of our competitors, what are their current strategies, what are their capabilities, and what are their assumptions, what do they think about themselves, right? That's okay. Right. So next, competitive moves. Competitive moves. This means that there are situations where the organizations compete against or with each other. Competitive moves. Competition could be healthy or unhealthy. In simple terms, in basic language, you can say it could be healthy or unhealthy, right? And in the language of management, we can say either it could be cooperative or non-threatening moves, or threatening moves. So competitive moves can be classified into two categories: one, cooperative or non-threatening moves, and second, threatening moves. In cooperative or non-threatening moves, as it is clear by its name only, that any firm don't have any threat from the competitor, and they both the competitors or number of competitors compete each other in a positive manner. In threatening, there is a fear that a business might sabotage our business. So let's discuss both of them one by one. The first is cooperative or non-threatening moves. As the name suggests, there are moves which do not threaten the competitors. Do not threaten. The categories of such type of moves are improving the position of the organization along with the position of the competitors, even if they are not at par. So improve the position of organization along with the position of competitors, even if they are not at par. If it happens, then obviously there is no need to uh, feel any threat from the competitors. Improving the position of organization along with the position of the competitors only if a significant number match. Improving the position of organization as the competitors are not able to match with them. Okay, so if we improve our position of the organization because competitors are not able to match with them, so the thing is we are not posing any threat for them because they don't have capabilities and they don't have resources to develop capabilities. So obviously one has to rise, and that's why we are improving the position of our organization. Moves are said to be non-threatening when the condition when competitors are not aware of the adjustment made by the organization. If you are not aware the adjustments made by organization, this is one. Performance of competitors is impaired due to their own assumptions. Performance of competitors is impaired due to their own assumptions. They might be assuming something about their own business which they actually don't possess, and they act as per their assumption. It will be non-threatening. Now, threatening moves. There are certain moves which may threaten the competitors. The key to such type of moves is predicting and influencing retaliation. Retaliation can be fast or slow or effective or ineffective, tough or soft, could be any. Based on kind of retaliation, the moves can be adjusted at as highly threatening, or it may be mild threaten. Non-threatening moves can be termed as defensive competitor moves, whereas threatening moves can be termed as offensive competitive moves. Now, next dimensions of competitive strategy. First dimension is specialization. As the name suggests, the focus on the efforts of the organization in specializing in it is terms in terms of product line and market segment. So if the organization focuses and say make substantial effort to specialize in terms of product line or market segment or quality of product, this is one dimension which is specialization. Next, second dimension is branding. The dimension focuses on brand identification so that so that customers can identify brand easily on the products than on the competition. This can be done through promotional techniques adopted by the organization. Next, push versus pull. This dimension focuses on the degree to which brand identification can be done. It may be selling directly to the consumer or through other distribution channel, example online platform. Push strategy involves pushing the product or brand to the target consumer, whereas pull strategy is about attracting the interest of consumers towards the product or brand. So the simple difference between push and pull is if a business is manufacturing specific products under a specific brand name, and that brand name or products are being pushed to the customers. This is pushed means you are imposing, or by promotion, by advertisement, you are selling your product, whatever you have made. And in pull strategy, the interest of customers are invited so that the product can be designed, or a product or a brand can be made. So if in pull strategy it is about attracting the interest of consumer, whereas in push strategy it is about pushing the product or brand to the target segment. Next is distribution channel. Selecting an appropriate distribution channel is important. The organization needs to decide which channel it has to use. It can be company owned or retail outlet or online platform or specialty outlets, etc. Could be anything, or maybe direct sale. So the firm has to decide the distribution channel, because for a specific customer segment and for specific products, the different type of distribution channels are used. There is no standard rule following which you can decide that which channel should be used for a specific product. You have to analyze your product and the customer segment as well. Next is quality of product. It is very important for organization to focus on this aspect. Obviously, quality of product matters a lot, and it depends on the type of raw material, specification of the product, features of the product, etc., for making a finished product. So, quality of product is very important. There are two main aspects which are to be considered: one, cost; second, quality; then comes availability of product. So quality has a very important role in the customer's perception. Next is technological leadership. It focuses on the degree to which an organization seeks leadership in the technology. These organizations which tend to imitate the product, and this is why they lack the competitive advantage. The organization which has differentiated, distinct, or better technology, they will lead, and the organization who will follow to the product or imitate the product, they lack the competitive advantage. For example, they Apple is technology leadership in smartphone market, technology leader in smartphone market. Next is vertical integration. This explains explain the degree to which organization follows forward and backward integration with the product and others. Next is cost position. Optimal utilization of cost is very important for competitive advantage, obviously. Service. This gives degree to which the organization provides ancillary services. This may be in form of in-house service network, credit or after-sales service, etc. So any type of service, in-house service or credit service or sales service or uh, installation services, etc., which are provided by the organization, should be focused. Pricing policy. This is one of the important dimension as it describes the price position of the organization in the market. It is the distinct strategy variable and should be considered separately because be it skimming pricing or penetration pricing, there are different types of product and different customers who are willing to who adopt the different prices. Some There is a market segment, there is a segment of consumers who are willing to buy low price products only, and on the some other type of products such as luxury products and uh, specific type of consumers, they prefer comparatively higher price of products. So we have to take consideration of the this price aspect as well. Pricing policy. Next is leverage. This is the financial as well as operating leverage of the organization. Means how much, say, financial help or operating help you can take in terms of finances. It is the debt taken by any firm to reduce its burden, its financial leverage. Next is fragmented industries and competitive strategy. Fragmented industries comprises of organizations which do not have a significant market share but can influence the industry strongly. Fragmented industries are very interesting concept in strategic management. They do not have a significant market share, but they can influence the industry strongly. For example, fragmented industries consist of large number of small and medium-sized organizations. The industries make environment unique in the sense that they do not have market leaders. They all are almost same, all the competitors. These industries can range from services, retail, and agriculture to the creative business. So in these services, they are large number or small number or medium number. They could be large number, medium sized, or say small size organizations, and they impact substantially the industry. Designing a specific competitive strategy for a fragmented industry is a combination of the generic strategy management process along with the specific dimension. Some dimensions could be specific with respect to the product or service, whatever being offered. and some could be generic strategic management process, which is generally accepted and applied to the all the to almost all the organizations. Next, formulating competitive strategy in fragmented industry. So there are five steps by which we can formulate competitive strategy for segmented industry. So first is conducting industry and competitor analysis. Second, identifying the cause of fragmentation in industry. Third, examining the cause of fragmentation. Then, predicting the new structure equilibrium in the industry. And five, coping with the fragmentation. So, if market is large and there are number of competitors of various sizes, there is no leader, there is no follower, they are almost equal, but they have substantial impact in the industry. Now we have to formulate competitive strategy for such kind of industry. It is quite a difficult task, but if we can find if we can identify the competitors, that who are the who could be the near competitors, or we can identify the cause of fragmentation in an industry, or examine the cause of fragmentation, and if we could predict the new structural equilibrium in the industry, by which or by applying which we can make or establish a balance among us the competitors or in the industry, then it would be beneficial to formulate such type of competitive strategy for the fragmented industry. So we'll discuss all these 5 points one by one. So this was step one in last slide. The step one says conducting industry and competitor analysis. So step one focuses on conducting industry analysis on the whole industry and also to perform the competitor analysis. This is one. This will help the organization to identify the sources of the competitive forces in the industry and the standing of competitors in the industry. Right. So first we have to conduct industry and competitor analysis in industry and also industry, so that the sources of competitive forces in industry can be identified, and we can identify that who are the competitors and what are the basis for competition in a specific industry. So this is one, conducting industry and competitor analysis. Now second one, this one, it is identifying the cause of fragmentation in industry. It focuses on identifying the reason which made industry fragmented. Identify the causes. We have to identify in second step. We have to identify the causes which made industry fragmented. Means what are the reason that by which this industry is fragmented. It is important to have a list of all the. It is important to have a list of all the reasons and assess their relationship with the economies of the industry. So it is important to list all the reasons which are behind uh, making industry fragmented. Next, step three, examining the cause of fragmentation. Step three focuses on investigating the cause of industry fragmentation with respect to industry and competitors analysis. This will help the organization to assess whether these causes can be overcome, say by innovation or strategic changes. Right. So in step three, we examine the causes of fragmentation. Okay. Give me a minute, just a minute. Okay. So it was one. Okay. Next, this one. Okay, there's one thing which is left here, and it is it says so. I wanted to mention here some examples of fragmented industries. So they could be book publishing is one. It is a fragmented industry. There is no leader or follower. Or repairing industry in India, repairing industry. Uh, then comes your meat packaging or maybe vegetables, furniture. Though there are some name, but it's still this is a very huge industry. Then nurseries or restaurant. So these are some examples of fragmented industry. And if we look at the examples of fragmented industry, we can understand these industries in a better way because there are no specific leader or follower in such industries in a specific market. So we have to, so with the reference of these three steps, conducting industry and competitor analysis, it was one. Identifying the cause of fragmentation industry, second. Then third, examining the cause of fragmentation. Now next, moving to the step 4 and step 5. In step 4, this one, predicting the new structural equilibrium for the industry. Now we have to understand that what is our objective, what do we want to achieve by all these 5 steps. So step 4 says the organization needs to assess whether the fragmentation can be overcome or not. If it can be, then whether the industry is able to give attractive returns or not. The organization needs to predict a new structural equilibrium for the industry, because in fragmented industry it is composed of a large number or a small number or medium sized companies. This we have studied. The one of the reason behind fragmented industry is lack of economies of scale, means they do not have say sufficient resources or ample resources. So this is one, lack of sale of scale of economies is also one of the reason behind fragmented industries. Right. Next, step 5. It deals. Step 5 says coping with fragmentation. It deals with coping. Step 5 deals with coping the fragmentation in case the fragmentation is inevitable. You can't avoid it. In this step, the organization needs to select the best alternative which can be used to cope with the fragmented structure. There could be a number of alternatives or courses of action, and on the basis of various, and one has to select out of the available courses of action or strategies. So you have to cope with the fragmentation in case the fragmentation is in the style allocation, need to select the best alternative which can be used to cope with the fragmented structure. So what we have discussed in this fragmented industry, that there could be number of reasons and for which could be responsible for making industry fragmented. Some could be, say, we discuss, say, one could be uh, lack of scale of economies. So as one scale of economies. Some other factors could be, say, low entry barrier, right? So if entry barrier is low, or it is easy to enter in a specific industry, then it will become fragmented. If entry cost is comparatively low, entry cost is comparatively low, then industry could become fragmented. Or if some in a specific area, if there are some specialized need of the customer, then an industry could be fragmented. Okay, so this is all. The rest we'll discuss in next lecture. If you have anything to ask, you can ask, or please be there. First, let me mark the attendance. Just okay, that's all for today. In next lecture, we'll discuss the rest of this block, and we'll try to finish the last block of MMPC-012 of strategic management, and hopefully we'll cover all the topics of block 4 in the next lecture. So if you have anything to ask, you can ask. Else, thank you for joining. Okay, thank you so much.
Good evening, RC Madam, Reena Madam. We have some concerns. Can we talk in this time? Reena, Reena Madam. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?